UFO journalist George Knapp's new documentary on Netflix just arrived over the weekend and got some pretty amazing footage from it. One in particular is a USO, which is considered an unidentified submerged object. That's right. They show a light going down into the water and then glowing. Have to admit, it's quite astonishing. And what a great way to introduce our sponsor for today's video when we're talking about journalism. And again, real investigative journalism, unbiased journalism. Because you see, I hate politics, y'all, to be honest with you, because you never know what's true and what's not, which is why I have partnered up with Straight Arrow News for today's video, because Straight Arrow News gives it to you straight. I find it important to use because I can't tell left-leaning, right-leaning, how things are going to go, right? So with this website and available app, you can get to the truth. Because Straight Arrow News serves you, not an agenda, so you can make the most informed decisions. Straight Arrow News is committed to unbiased, fact-based journalism in an environment where media mistrust is at an all-time high. I agree with that. With today's divisive political and media environments, our goal of serving you, not any party's agenda, is even more critical. I definitely agree with that. By approaching every issue from an objective middle ground and highlighting underreported stories, we aim to empower you with the facts and provide context. I mean, who doesn't want to get this, right? They've got a website and an app where you can clearly see what is left-leaning, right-leaning, and then what is just straight down the middle, which is why I love using Straight Arrow News, and I highly recommend you use it as well. It's absolutely perfect for what we're doing here at Vetted on this channel, so I love this product. I'll put a link in the description for the website and an app download. So go to san.com/vetted. Again, that's san.com/vetted, VETTED. You're not only supporting me, but you're supporting the hardworking journalism that takes place on Straight Arrow News. Now, I will say this, something kind of interesting, all right, is they play two different versions of the clip. Now, you'll see what I mean. First, I'm going to play the uninterrupted clip, right? The entire thing, and let's go from there. I mean, come on. This is an exciting clip, right? You see it clearly glowing light, right? And then it just slips into the water and then starts to glow, right? Now, I will say a few things about this, which is kind of interesting, all right? So we're going to get to that second clip. But one, this is in episode number 4, titled The Counter Report. And in this episode, George is sitting with a scuba diver, right, who is an underwater archaeologist or something along those lines. And what's interesting is they're talking about it like it's some sort of, overnight crew that's watching the ocean, right, that they have some sort of surveillance going at all times, right? But if you pay attention to how the camera moves, that's kind of interesting. Maybe it's on a buoy of some sort. That's why it's moving like that. But it almost looks handheld, which means like what this dude, people are just standing out there in shifts, holding a handheld. You wouldn't use a tripod. So more information about how that was shot would be interesting, which they don't reveal. And I've never seen this clip anywhere. And it was something they captured and shared, right? But like I said, in the second version, right? So first they play it sort of interrupted and have George and this other gentleman talking in between it, right? And then at the end of that segment, they play, right, the clip. And the reason I'm not showing the whole thing is because Netflix will copyright that. So I had to be very careful and test what exactly I could share. And I found no copyright issues, up to the point of me sharing this. So again, let's look at the way they show it originally, which is just sort of broken up. All right. So you'll see it sort of, you'll see the differences. I'm going to put spaces in between each different little clip that they played. And there's one in particular that just is a little different. Now, it's in that very last part there that I noticed a difference. The stars. That's what really stuck out to me. Now, it does seem like it's sort of a longer clip that they broke up, and then when they showed, quote unquote, the full clip, they left out that part at the end that showed the stars. Now, take that for whatever you mean. It's just weird, like, just show the whole thing, in my opinion, right? Like, it's all over the place. Just show the full clip, let us see it, not interrupting it, which they do, but then don't show that last part at the end. Curious why. But now, in all honesty, it's probably just that the footage with no stars is just zoomed in so you can't really see it, or there's more to the clip that just didn't show. It's hard to tell. There is another part of this video that I can't really explain, and maybe not in the way that you're thinking. Again, this video is kind of astonishing, right? When you just see it at first, right? Because it's like, what is this thing going into the water? Because it's clearly not a flare like you see here, right? You can see the flare, flying through the air, and a lot of smoke, right? And then when it hits the water, just can't really see it up close, but just has a way different feel to it. And then, of course, you've got like something like bioluminescence, right? That, as you can see in this video as well, is the ripple effect is crazy, right? Like, it just affects everything around it. If you interact with water, bioluminescent water, right? It's very interactive, right? So I just don't see that being it, or the flare, right? So yeah, what is this thing? I agree. But again, one thing that I found interesting, okay, is I did it frame by frame. So basically, there's a part where basically it goes into the water and then it glows, right? Well, if you slow it down, okay, extremely slow, right, which I found. So basically, let's take a look at the video zoomed in, okay, and brightness up, and see if you notice it. It may be very hard to notice what I'm talking about. So let's play that, and then we'll come back. All right, so you may or may not have noticed it because it's literally frame by frame on my system that I'm using, right? So look right here, you can see when it goes from into the water. This is frame by frame, y'all, right? Goes the last frame before it really brightly glows green, right? The frame right before it, they're not in the same place. All right, look at the screen. The light, when it goes into the water, and then where the light is glowing, completely changes a different position on the screen. So I find that interesting. Why is it doing that? I don't understand. Is it because that's where underwater is? But it's, again, frame to frame. And nowhere in this video is it making like crazy movements. I haven't changed the speed at all in the video. So nowhere is it making some sort of crazy sudden movements. And when it goes into the water, again, I just find that interesting. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Why is it doing that? It seems almost like, gosh, I don't want to say this, but it almost seems like the clip is a little doctored, potentially. I don't know, right? It'd be great to get more context about the clip, and maybe from someone from Netflix, which is never going to happen, of why it's shown that way. Right? Why is it like that? again, maybe we could get more context. That would be nice. But, I don't know. What do y'all think of this video? Right? How does it stand out to you? It is fascinating. You rarely see a glowing orb go into the water and then light up the water. But again, when you break it down frame by frame, why does it change like that? That's just interesting. But I don't know. Again, it is a fascinating video. So anyway, look, I recommend going to check out George Knapp's show on Netflix. It's available now, all 6 episodes. And again, this is from episode number 4, titled The Counter Report. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. We'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep.